Welcome to the August energy forecast. I'm excited about this month. It feels really hot and spicy. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of build up to this time. This is the time where we accept that everything that's going on in the regular world, our earthly physical world, is just there. It's happening. You don't have to engage in all the craziness. I think of the 3D world as kind of like the Wild West right now. There's a lot of things changing, and we have to understand that with change sometimes comes chaos. Sometimes things are broken down, burnt down, so that they can be rebuilt properly. So in that process, there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of feelings, but you can choose to move back and be the observer. You can choose to be the one that kind of sits above or flies above the storm. So I want you to remember that this month, that you've got to bring yourself back to your focus, back to your center, because this month is all about how your unique self and how your heart kind of plays out in your relationships in your life. So we've kind of got this focus back on our unique self or our internal self and self-love, but also back to relationships, as far as how do we operate in a relationship? How do we understand our own truth compared to the truth of our spouse or partner or family member? And what are you willing to hold on to and what are you willing to let go of? So you have to remember that everyone is entitled to their own view this month. So in relationships, we can have a very fixed view sometimes. We can really hold on to what we believe and feel that that's the only way you should believe something. But we have to understand that staying in that fixed place is really going to hurt us in our relationships in August. You've got to be able to move yourself past what you know, past your belief, and be willing to feel what it feels like to be someone else going through an experience. So that old saying, put yourself in someone else's shoes. But you really have to be willing to feel everything they're feeling and understand that their truth is not your truth. And that's okay. You don't have to have the same experience. There's a multitude of truths. And we can experience this reality on many different levels. So many different perceptions here. So in relationships, we have to understand that just because you feel a certain way and you know that to be true, you know something to be true, someone else can feel differently and know something to be true that opposes your truth. And that's okay. So really about pulling yourself back. Relationships this month, really important that you try to resolve conflict easily, quickly, and move back from arguments that seem like they go nowhere, seem like they're just kind of in a loop. But as I said, hot and spicy month. So feeling this kind of lead up to this big opening, this big kind of breakthrough. And to trust that your relationships are strong enough to weather this storm and will become stronger through the growth. This year, we're all about diminishing the ego. So we'll never totally eliminate ego. Ego does serve a purpose, and on a lot of levels, it can keep us in some sort of safety. It prevents us from doing things that we're afraid of. It explains things in a way to keep us smaller sometimes, but sometimes that is a protection, and we've used it, and sometimes it works. But I think the thing to understand is that ego is to be looked at as a tool, just like everything else, and to not put all your focus in those thoughts and feelings that come from ego. So now moving the ego from our filter, moving that filter away, moving it from in front of us, and using our heart to guide us. The heart energy is so strong, so important that we continue to bring ourselves into center, into heart energy, and feel what that feels like. We are in a place in August where we are surrendering. If you have not answered that call that I've been talking about all year, if you feel like the universe has been knocking on your door saying, hey, I want you to go down this path, or hey, I want you to investigate this, or hey, I want you to talk to this person. Those little warnings now are ending, and the universe is now saying to you, you are running out of time. You need to follow this call that I've been putting in front of you. I've been showing you signs. I've been trying to get your attention. I've been knocking on your door and you're not answering. And so what happens when you don't answer the call is the universe only has a limited amount of time to allow you to ignore that spiritual call or that call for your soul path. And when your time is up, the universe becomes more forceful. So it can almost feel a little bit like a slap from the universe when you haven't listened. Okay. And those kinds of things could be happening this month if you're not willing to be open to the creativity and the uniqueness of yourself and follow your heart. This is a time to be humble and to be in a place where somebody can teach you. You don't know everything. Even in your specialized fields, you don't know everything. There is always somebody that can teach you something, or some experience can teach you. So to stay in a place of growth makes a lot of sense for August, because you're observing and you're allowing and you're surrendering to what's coming your way. So be very careful in relationships and at work that you don't get embroiled in a very fixed argument. You can't explain something to somebody that they have no idea, or they have no perception of, or there's no willingness to understand you. If there's no willingness to understand your point of view, then walk away before you expend all that energy. This is a time of replenishment too. We're still on, this year is the roller coaster. We know we're going to get off. We know it's okay, but we still have to enjoy the slower moments, the rewarding moments, the loving moments with family, or the experiences this time of year. So make sure that you're taking time for yourself and that you're building that balance, because I can tell you, August is great. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of revelation, but there's also a lot of hardship on the 3D level or in the earthly kind of systems. So it's important to remember that there is magic happening all around you. Remember that your spirituality, your path can lead you, that you can listen to your heart and it will be okay and you will be supported. You will start, if you haven't seen much from the universe this year yet, this month is the month where the signs are coming fast and furious. So if you look for a specific sign, a number, or a bird, or a sound, or a flower, or anything like that, an insect, this is the time. This is a time where you're going to be bombarded with signs. And the universe is trying to show you that it's okay. You feel like you want to move forward and you have been putting a lot of work into something. And now is the time when things will start to come to fruition. So there's an idea that we can pray for fish, wait for the fish to come, hold our net. But what the universe is asking us to do now is it's time to cast your net. The fish are there. You can stop praying. Your prayers have been answered. And so on some level, to me, what this means is that if you've been thinking about something, trying to manifest something, you've been working on a project, you've been working on yourself, just doing some inner healing, August is the time where you will start to pull in that net and start to see those rewards and how the universe is supporting you. So you don't have to pray for the fish. The fish are there. You just have to cast your net. So making sure that you're replenishing is so important because of the ups and downs always, and that's not going to end this year. Holding on to hope, the hope that things will be better, is so important, because it's not just about the hope, it's about having compassion for the process too. So compassion for other people as they go through it, but compassion for the universe as it goes through this process, as our earth upgrades, because that's really what's happening here. We're all being upgraded very rapidly. There's a lot of advancement in August. You're going to see some technological advancements that some people welcome, and some people are very nervous and scared of. And you can participate in these as you want, as you choose to, but society in general, our society is advancing. We are moving forward. We are changing, growing, and expanding as the universe expands rapidly. So many people, I've heard many people say, oh, this world's gone crazy. I just want to go hide in the woods. I don't want to participate in this. And I'm going to tell you that I understand the feeling and I understand the need for rest, but you can't leave us. No one who has good in their heart and wants to help people should be hiding away right now. We need all the love and compassion and radical acceptance for where humans are right now. So although it does feel scary, change is always scary, and chaos is a normal part of the cycle, but we don't always look at it that way because we are human, so we tend to see all the trouble. We tend to see all the things that are wrong before we see what's right. So I encourage you to continue, build your future. Continue to know that the universe is supporting you and watching you and trying to help you. And that sometimes it's darker. It's always darkest before the dawn. And we're moving into an age of great growth for humankind, for amazing technological advancement, for help with so many things. But those advancements spring from need. And so what you see happening right now is great need. It's great need, but this is part of the process. So continue to pay attention to the people you love. Continue to pay attention to your neighbor. Think about compassion, think about your heart, and that radical acceptance for where we are right now, where we're going, and how we can be in this world and be the best light for others. This month is important for manifesting. It's very important that you actually use your heart to feel where you want to go. Feel what it's going to feel like to manifest the things you've been asking for, and try to work on staying in that feeling. As we watch systems change, adapt, or crumble, we automatically, our natural reaction is fear. And you can understand that, you can take that into you, you can feel that, you can say to yourself, this is a very human thing that's happening to me right now, and I do feel fearful, and I accept it. We not only have to radically accept others and situations, we have to radically accept ourselves. So knowing that all emotions are healthy and it's okay right now. If fear is the first thing that comes, just don't stay there. Don't take your vacation there in fear. And we are creative beings, and it might surprise you. Most people think the brain is, the energetic part of the body. That's the part of the body that's doing all the work for me. It's my thinking, it's my manifesting, it's my energy, crown chakra, the whole bit. But I'm going to tell you that a lot has dropped into the heart center. In the past few months, the energy that has dropped into our heart centers is enormous, to the point where you may be feeling like your chest is a little tight, or maybe your heart's racing and you don't understand, where did that come from? Or there's palpitations, or you may even be feeling like, oh my gosh, I can feel, sometimes if you feel energy, you can feel your heart energy outside of your chest and embracing other people. And the heart energy is so powerful. And I think if we can think about what we want to see and we connect it with the emotions we want to have. So if we see a future with compassion, with help for others, where you stand behind people that need help instead of criticize or judge them. I think if you can feel that world and feel how good that feels and take it into your heart center, then we can manifest more of what we want to see. It's okay. Like, I know we're all having a hard time with many things, but please let that person go in traffic. Open the door for the person when you're walking into the store or the mall. Smile, give a compliment. When you see somebody who's really struggling, the best thing you can do is be kind. Be kind. And all of us are getting a little weary. So it is a time to inspire. It is a time to find that place within you to help others and to rise up. This will help us all rise above the chaos that is happening all around us in our physical world. I really need to tell you that your fate is written. Your soul path is written. Your contracts, your sacred contracts are made. You cannot mess this up. Last month, I talked about how July was the month to jump. It was the month to leap with both feet and trust that someone is going to either catch you or you have a place to land, it's safe, or that there's, positive growth because you've taken that leap. And this month, it feels like the leaps happened, but we still aren't exactly trusting that we have what we need when we land. And you do. You do have what you need. You always have what you need. If we really take stock of our experiences, we do always have what we need. We need to look at what's happening right now as growth, because that growth is like teaching us. We came here for soul expansion. We came here for the teaching. We came here to learn. And there's no better place to learn but in adversity. That's where we crack. That's where we open up. That's where we break down to break through. That's where we have all the greatest understandings. So August, the big, big thing, remember first that you love the people that you're in relationships with. And that deep love will carry you through any issue. And if, for instance, because this year is a lot about freedom, and so if, for instance, you just have found that you've exhausted everything in a relationship and it is complete, you will know it's complete. You won't have to ask the question. You will know when your journey is done with that person. And the freedom, the feeling of freedom for the last part of this year is so strong that if your freedom, your desire to have freedom is stronger than your bond to that person, then you should prepare. You should prepare yourself for that. This radical acceptance and love of your situation, of yourself, of your unique self and your creativity, your place in this world, that is all perfect. But we've got to be in the place where we radically accept the things about ourselves that we don't like as well. It's time to take the unmarked trail. It's time to do different things in your life. Take a different path than you normally would, because you need different stimulation. You need different growth. You need different people. And so you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to change. We all need to kind of approach things a little bit differently now. Remember, we're in the age of Aquarius this year. And, astrology is not my speciality, but Aquarians in general are very advanced energies. And they want to have solutions to problems. And they're usually far, far ahead of their time. And I know there's a lot of worry and stress over the economic systems and political systems, government, law. There's a lot of stress around these things, healthcare. But you have to understand the Aquarian energy, they're problem solvers and they're geniuses. They're just, so that energy I don't feel will let us fall. So we do have to have crisis sometimes before solutions are found. So you have to understand that right now there is some of that crisis. I want you to only engage your energy in the things that are needed. So ask yourself when you're faced with that stress or worry or crisis, is this a crisis I need to be involved in? Is this an energy I need to engage? Because if not, you have other things to do. And August it's hot and spicy, it is, but it's going to work to pull you, you're really going to be forced to commit to that path. And it will pull you in directions that you're not expecting if you engage your energy in things that you're not meant to. So If you feel like it's an important task, an important burning desire you have to help out with some of these earthly crises, then we need you, and by all means do it. But if you feel like you're better served, you can better serve others if you are looking after self, and that you can share your love with the people around you, then do that. If you can't watch the news, don't watch the news. This is a very individual time. You've got to do what's right for you and make sure that you're grounded and centered in all of that. Always understanding that there's many different realities we can connect to. Do you want to connect to that reality? And if you don't want to, don't do it. It's up to you. So August is a strength month. It's a fighting month. You're going to see upheaval. It's guaranteed. You're going to see truth revealed. You're going to see shocking revelations in the public eye and maybe in your household. Things are coming to light, but to stay steady and true, I want you to know that in the end of all of this, you have found yourself, as long as you're in that place of radical acceptance for self. And there's nothing more valuable than that. And we need some of this crisis and chaos to happen so that we can reform our society the way that we want to. So use that heart center to expand your love and compassion and pure energy, pure light into the world to help. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, help out with this channel so I can keep this going. And until next month, keep your hats on, folks. Bye-bye.